Hello and welcome back. I'm Sarah Posh, and we're here to dive into the week of the Scorpio full moon. Dun dun dun. We've got a thrilling week ahead with this Scorpio full moon lunar phase. We are talking all about this full moon lunar phase, which is the peak point of every lunar cycle. This is the moment where the moon is always at its brightest, sitting exactly opposite the sun. We get this point halfway through the cycle that started with the Taurus new moon to see really clearly from a little bit more of a distance on what's working, what's not working. We get to celebrate and illuminate the things that we're excited to move forward. And we also get the opportunity to do some emotional purging and cleansing and letting go of the things that aren't serving the growth and the direction of where we're going. So let's just dive into it. The full moon in Scorpio is on Monday, May 12th. We have arrived. If you were with us last week, we talked a lot about how the weekend before was really building to this crescendo of the Scorpio full moon, and now we're here. This is a huge breakthrough moment. This is a huge catharsis, a shedding, a letting go. The full moon in Scorpio is this point of kind of no return. Hopefully over the weekend, we had this chance to really have difficult conversations or to see things and confront things that before we were scared to go into, but that we had to in order to know that we can move forward more clearly. It's like, hopefully when we get to the Scorpio full moon, all the cards are on the table. And now the full moon is empowering us to do something with it. The thing that really inspired me when I was thinking and feeling to the Scorpio full moon was the Shake It Out song and music video by Florence and the Machine. Before I even talk about why I chose this song or this video, I want to tell you that, of course, I looked up Florence Welch's chart. And of course, Florence is born with Mercury in Leo, square her Pluto in Scorpio. It's a sign-based square, not a degree-based square because of where those planets are. But they're still in that square, which, remind you, on the same day of the Scorpio full moon is Mercury square Pluto. So I love that. I love that's so astrology good. I love when that happens. It's perfect that I was drawn to her and this song to describe and feel into the Scorpio full moon with you. So back to Shake It Out. If you haven't seen this music video, please go watch it. Make it part of your Scorpio full moon ritual. It's so good. It's so emotional. I literally cried while I watched it. I feel like I went through the Scorpio full moon process journey through that video. And I'm going to explain why. So the lyrics on their own are standout for describing what we're going through in the Scorpio full moon. But the video itself, the imagery, her voice, the lyrical range, it's really giving this energy of going to the depths in order to liberate ourselves into this complete sense of freedom. She says repeatedly throughout the song, it's always darkest before the dawn. And that's so the energy of this Scorpio full moon. It's like anything that's been holding us back, anything that's still feeling stuck or stagnant, and old energy just kind of clinging on to us. Now at the Scorpio full moon, there's this release point. There's this huge shedding and letting go that this full moon is giving us. We are not running from the truth. We are not running from our shadows or our fears. We're actually directly looking at them and learning to dance with them, dance with the energy. This is the full moon that says it's hard to dance with the devil on your back, so shake him off. It's not about dramatic escape. It's about shaking something loose on the inside, not because you're forced to, but because your soul is finally ready. This is a raw call to release our inner burdens, to let the old weight fall away, even if it shakes your current identity. And this video captures it perfectly. It ends in this beautiful scene of her walking on the limb of a tree, and she's in this completely white gown. It's beautiful. It's angelic. It gives this energy of innocence and purity and rebirth. So this is the full moon in Scorpio, opposite Uranus energy. It's about recognizing whether it's our attachments or our desire for control or our gripping to the past where we're ready to release ourselves from that grip, to really let something go and really let ourselves become more free. So this Scorpio full moon, you're ready. It's time. You don't have to dance with the devil on your back. So shake them off. So on Tuesday, May 13th, the moon's going to go into Sagittarius. And let me tell you, this is probably going to feel like a breath of fresh air. The moon in Sagittarius is like, okay, we freaking cried it out. Can we just have some fun now? So hopefully by Tuesday and Wednesday, we can use the moon in Sagittarius to lighten the mood a little bit. Hopefully with all the energy you've broken loose and let go and purged in the Scorpio full moon, now you get to kind of embrace a sense of hope and optimism. We can start to come back to that place of inspiration and fun and adventure. Hopefully we've shaken some stuff loose and now we're back in this place of, what do I want to do? Something I love about the moon in Sagittarius on Tuesday and Wednesday is that it's creating this grand fire trine with Venus in Aries and Mars in Leo. Venus is going to make an exact trine to Mars next week, which we'll talk about in next week's episode. But the moon in Sagittarius is foreshadowing this trine that's to come. It's all about inspiration and fun and passion. Start to pay attention to the people that really bring that energy out of you, that when you're around them, there's this natural kind of source of enthusiasm and synergy, this excitement to move forward. This is what the moon in Sagittarius wants us to do. So start really leaning into those people and those activities that get you back into that place of facing the changes that are here, the changes that we're all really, really starting with this Taurus lunar cycle, with that sense of adventure that the moon in Sagittarius helps us tap into. Then on Thursday, May 15th, we're going to have the moon shift into Capricorn. And the same day, Venus leaves retrograde shadow. So now Venus has officially reached the 10-degree mark at Aries, which means she is out of shadow. When we say a planet is leaving its retrograde shadow, that means that it's crossing the degree point that it's stationed retrograde. So Venus stationed retrograde back on March 1st at 10 degrees Aries. And from this point forward, Venus is covering all new territory. If the full moon in Scorpio opposite Uranus was about shaking off the weights that weigh you down, this Venus moment is about stepping into fresh, untangled territory. It's like now we have the clarity that comes after the months of relational review during that Venus retrograde cycle, all of the emotional sifting and the recalibration that we were being asked to do within our value system. Now we're stepping into completely new territory here. And not just new territory, but we're also reborn. We're wiser. We're ready to engage with love, art, and desire from a place of clear choice and conscious alignment. It's not about perfect relationships or flawless self-love, but it's about choosing from a place of integrity and self-awareness. We're ready to say, this is what I truly want. This is what I deeply value. And this is where I stand as I move forward. So being open and receptive to things being new and fresh as we step into the other side, into this new territory. So Thursday through Saturday with that moon in Capricorn, there's this invitation to get grounded and really get into action on stepping into boss mode. When I think of the moon in Capricorn too, I always think about how it's so important for us to tap into that sense of self-trust, to resource the authority of our own instincts, and to really kind of tune out the noise of how everybody else is doing it or how I thought I had to do it. This isn't about achieving somebody else's dream or achieving your dream in the way that maybe somebody else has done it. Let go of comparison. Step into boss mode in the sense of, this is my dream. This is my vision. Capricorn knows how to get to where it's going. So use this weekend with the moon in Capricorn to re-clarify your goals. Maybe you have to reorganize the plan or you have to start from a different place It might have to be a different step one. What are the goals? What are you saying yes to? Maybe there's something new that's been introduced. So being open to say it might look different. Something might have changed about this previous idea of where I was going and the changes that were put into motion when this Taurus new moon cycle started. But this moon in Capricorn is going to help us really get clear. Okay, well, this is what it is now. So tap into the moon in Capricorn to ground, to reorganize, to restructure, to get into that boss mode and say, all right, we got this. And this is step one. So that leads us to Saturday, May 17th, the next day with the big transit of the week. And this is the day that the sun is going to conjunct Uranus at 27 degrees Taurus. And on Saturday, Mercury in Taurus is going to square Mars in Leo at 13 degrees. I have to be honest, Sun-Uranus transits are some of my favorite transits. I personally have a Sun-Uranus conjunction in my natal chart, so I'm very familiar with Uranus energy. I find it fun. I find it exciting. Somebody who is not as familiar can feel more into the part of the Uranus transits that feels really chaotic and disruptive because we're forced to do something different. We're forced to break the status quo. And what's unique about a Sun-Uranus conjunction in Taurus is that this isn't a fixed Earth sign. Taurus is not known for loving change. Let's be honest, Taurus, right? So this got me thinking about the energy of a Sun-Uranus transit, which is so much about breakthrough, which is so much about revolution and rebellion. And in Taurus, in this fixed Earth sign, this feels like stillness as an act of boldness. Sometimes rest is the greatest revolution. The perfect person for me was Rosa Parks. I looked up Rosa Parks' chart and it was so fucking perfect. Rosa Parks is born with the Sun, Mercury, and Uranus all in Aquarius, a fixed air sign. And she also has Saturn at 27 degrees of Taurus, the degree of this Sun-Uranus conjunction. And Rosa Parks' legacy is a perfect example of the power of a grounded, embodied revolution, which is what I really see the potential of this weekend's transits inviting us into. Rosa Parks made history not by matching the force of her oppressors, but by choosing stillness, by choosing not to give up her seat. This single act of resistance is what created a ripple of transformation, this shockwave that changed our world. And to be honest, this is a perfect example of the idea of Sun-Uranus radical nonconformity in its purest form. It's this choice to disrupt not through force, but through a refusal to move. I'm thinking about the power of this unmovable authenticity, this unshakable sense of self and who you are, this confidence that I don't need everybody to validate my worth or to agree with my opinions. What would it be like to be so anchored in knowing who you are and loving that about yourself that you don't have to prove that? You don't have to perform for anybody. It's actually this act of just unconditional authenticity, this willingness to not change or morph or adapt to anything else, to just say, this is who I am. So when we get to Saturday and we get to the peak of this Sun-Uranus and Mercury square Mars, you can probably sense what it is that you're ready to break free from. You can probably sense what it is that you're no longer wanting to participate in. If you're feeling this energy of rebellion and you're ready to break the status quo, it's good. I'm going to be thinking this weekend about how to use disengagement as this strategy of containing my creative energy as a resource, how I can tap into this disruptive energy in the sense of refusing to continue to do the things that keep me stuck. This is the moment where we are all activated into this willpower to say, I'm ready to do something different. And it doesn't have to be loud or performative. It just needs to be an embodied truth, an embodied trust. It's not about proving yourself to anybody other than yourself. And then on Saturday night, the moon goes into Aquarius. This is about socializing in ways that align with all of the renewed sense of authenticity that's come in this Scorpio full moon week. This liberation and opening sets us up perfectly for the week ahead in the third quarter moon phase. There's so much happening in this final phase of the Taurus new moon lunar cycle. It's the final week of the lunar phase, and it is stacked. So use this week, clear the deck, purge, let stuff go, open the space, and get excited because next week is going to bring a lot of new energy, more big shifts to come. We're going to dive into the beginning of Saturn in Aries. So stay tuned. Join me for next week. It's going to be so good, so fresh. Thank you for joining me this week on my second episode. I'm really excited to announce that I have hired somebody to help me, thank God, with this process. So I promise it's going to get better. If you liked this episode or if you like this content and you want to support my channel, it helps so much if you like this video, if you subscribe to the channel. I invite you in the comments to also share if you watched the previous episode. Tell me in the comments, like, what happened for you? I really want to hear, did anything happen so astrology good last week in that first quarter moon phase? Did you have a full card moment? Did relationships reach a full circle turning point? How did it go? Tell me in the comments, hashtag so astrology good. I also want to hear what you're feeling leading into the Scorpio full moon or how you're feeling through this week. And you can check out everything I have going on right now with the links below in this video. Again, thank you so much for being here. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm Sarah Posh, and I'll see you next week for the third quarter moon and episode 3.